Hello and welcome back to MTG Burgeoning Community, your channel for all things Magic. It's Sunday, and that can only mean one thing. Sunday is fun day here at MTG Burgeoning, and in today's video we are going to continue building around Morophon the Boundless in a Shapeshifter Changeling EDH deck. What's up, MTG Burgeoning Community? Welcome back to another Sunday is Fun Day. In today's video, as we've already discussed, we are going to continue building a Shapeshifter Changeling deck around our number one Shapeshifter, Morophon the Boundless. If you missed any of the previous installments in this current deck building series, you can click on the links in the description below. Briefly, these are already the cards included. We're going to showcase 25 different shapeshifters with the Changeling mechanic. We have Universal Automaton, Imposter of the Sixth Pride, Avian Changeling, Irregular Cohort, Amoeboid Changeling, Mistwalker, Changeling Outcast, Skeletal Changeling, Venomous Changeling, Woodland Changeling, Guardian Gladewalker, Masked Vandal, Shapesharer, Unsettled Mariner, Mirror Entity, Realm Walker, Taurian Mauler, Bloodline Pretender, Ghostly Changeling, Turtleshell Changeling, Grave Shifter, Chameleon Colossus, Cairn Wanderer, Morit of the Frost, and Valiant Changeling. Those are the first 25 cards added to this Shapeshifter with Changeling tribal deck, piloted by our number one up there, Morophon the Boundless. In today's video, we are going to add 10 cards that are going to help us, let's say, enhance, strengthen, and or accentuate our Shapeshifter theme. And the first card we're going to include is another Shapeshifter, although it doesn't have the Changeling mechanic. Metallic Mimic is an artifact creature Shapeshifter for a CMC of 2. It's a 2/1, and when it ETBs, we choose a creature type. For the purposes of this deck, of course, we are going to be choosing Shapeshifter. Metallic Mimic is the chosen type in addition to its other type, so that makes this a Shapeshifter. Each other creature we control of the chosen type, so each other Shapeshifter we control enters the battlefield with additional +1/+1 counter on it. So Metallic Mimic is card number 1 to help enhance our Shapeshifter theme. It is important to take a moment to review before we move further in understanding that Changeling is a mechanic that means that this creature card is every creature type. Therefore, it does have synergies with creature tribes outside of Shapeshifter. That's important as we continue with this video, particularly with the next card, Dragon's Horde. It's an artifact for 3. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under our control, we put a gold counter on Dragon's Horde. Again, to reiterate, Changeling is every creature type, so even though our Shapeshifters with Changeling have Shapeshifter in the creature type, they are also dragons. So when they come into play, they are going to trigger Dragon's Horde, and we're going to put a gold counter on this artifact. We can tap to remove a gold counter from this to draw a card, or we can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. So all of our Shapeshifters with Changeling, they are going to come into play. They're going to trigger Dragon's Horde. Next card up, we are going to include a copy of Birthing Bows. 3 colorless for an artifact. We tap this, and we create a 2/2 colorless Shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. And again, it has every creature type. Alright, and the next card we are going to include, this will make a lot more sense as we get further into this deck tech building series, but for right now, let's just say that Maskwood Nexus is going to have a very, very prominent role in this deck. It's an artifact for 4. Creatures we control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells we don't control and creature cards we own that aren't on the battlefield. So we have to understand that creature cards we own that aren't on the battlefield mean library, hand, exile, and graveyard. And potentially under control of our opponents. Control, yeah, that'll work. Okay. That aren't on the battlefield. Okay, so the same is true for creature spells you control and creature card you own that aren't on the battlefield. Okay, so yeah, so if we have some of our scrupulous blue mages took control of some of our shapeshifters, we still have them able to act. We still have them to synergize with Maskwood Nexus. So we can also tap this to create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. So similar to our previous artifact, Birthing Boughs, we have the ability to create some additional shapeshifter creature tokens with Changeling. And again, keep an eye on Maskwood Nexus. It's going to have much bigger implications as we continue with this deck tech series. Card number 5, marking our halfway point of this video, will be 1 copy of Reflections of Littjara. 4 and a blue. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. We choose Shapeshifters. And whenever we cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. So what that means for us, for the purposes of this deck, is let's take a very quick review of the shapeshifters that we already have in this deck. So Morophon won't work because of the legendary rule. So that will be one we will not want to be able to copy with Reflections of Littjara. But the Metallic Mimic, that would be a very nice copy. And then very quickly, as we look through our other 25 that we have here, exactly how many of them are legendary? There's Morit. We're not seeing a lot of other legends here. And we're not going to either. So of our stack here of 25 shapeshifters, and our commander, which is a shapeshifter, and the Metallic Mimic, for a total of 27 shapeshifters, 25 of them are going to interact with Reflections of Littjara. So that's going to be a great inclusion for us as a way in which to double up our creatures as we cast them during a game. All right, the next 5. Number 6, 1 copy of Rooftop Storm. 5 and a blue, it's an enchantment that reads, we may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for zombie creature spells we cast. Remember, almost all of our shapeshifters, aside from the Metallic Mimic, almost all of our shapeshifters have Changeling, which means that they're also zombies. So if we get this enchantment into play, we're casting our shapeshifters for 0, which means we're also casting Morophon the Boundless at a reduced rate. We'll still have to pay the mana tax, or the commander tax if there is any, but still we get ahead on our mana. We get to cast our creature spells for free. Rooftop Storm is going to do some heavy lifting. Next up, this is a beauty. Let's check out Cateran Summons. It's a sorcery for 1 black. Search our library for a mercenary card, reveal it, and put it into our hand, then shuffle our library. Again, shapeshifters with Changeling means shapeshifters are mercenaries. So we can tap a black, cast a sorcery, search our library for any shapeshifter in our deck, and put it right into our hand. Cateran Summons, that's going to sneak up on a lot of people. All right, the next and last 3 spells of this video are all going to be dependent on, let's say, the number of shapeshifters that we have in play under our control when we attempt to cast these spells. You'll understand a lot more easily when we start looking at them. The first one is Coveted Prize. It's 4 and a black for a sorcery, and it reads, we search our library for a card, put it into our hand, shuffle our library. If we have a full party, we may cast a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less from our graveyard. 4 or less from our hand without paying its mana cost. Where the heck did I even see graveyard? So let's review that one more time. 4 and a black, search our library for a card, put it into our hand, and then shuffle our library. If we have a full party, we may cast a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less from our hand without paying its mana cost. This spell costs 1 colorless less to cast for each creature in our party. Our party consists of up to 1 each of a cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard. Now, unfortunately, a shapeshifter with Changeling will not check all 4 of those boxes. Unfortunately, for the purposes of this card, we need to have 4 shapeshifters in play in order to have the full party, and then in order to cast this spell for 1 black, Demonic Tutor, and then cast a spell from our hand with 4 CMC less without paying its mana cost. There's a couple of hoops to jump through here and hoops to jump through and hurdles to jump over in order to get the very best economics behind the spell, but I am absolutely willing to give that a try, particularly because of all of the number of very low CMC shapeshifters that we already have in the deck and ways in which to create tokens and bring them back. So I'm looking forward to casting Coveted Prize for a much reduced cost. That card is going to be awesome. Next up, card number 9, similar to the previous, we have Thwart the Grave. 4 and 2 black for another sorcery. Return target creature card and up to 1 target cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield. And this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in our party. So again, if we have a minimum of 4 shapeshifters in play, this is only going to cost us 2 black to return 2 creatures from our graveyard to the battlefield. I'm looking forward to seeing how Thwart the Grave will work, especially with its reduced cost of 2 black. All right, folks, Burgeoning's last spell, card number 10 for this shapeshifter deck. Spoils of Adventure. For 4, a white and a blue, we are looking at an instant that reads, you gain 3 life and you draw 3 cards. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in our party. And again, our party consists of up to 1 each of cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard. So again, the sweet spot of having at least 4 shapeshifters in play will mean that this spell will only cost us 1 white and 1 blue to gain 3 life, but more importantly, to draw 3 cards. So those last 3 installments here in this video of these last 10 cards, these most recent 3, the full party cards, those are going to be the money cards right there, because if we have the creatures in play, the value that we're going to get from those spells based on the reduction of mana cost is going to be unbelievable. All right, folks, this is MTG Burgeoning. We are continuing with our build around Morophon the Boundless series, Shapeshifters with Changeling. Next time we get together, we will install our removal spells. That's right, folks. We're going to remove our opponent's creatures because that's how we're going to win with our shapeshifters. This is MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things magic.